Welcome everyone. Part 2 of our Rumi journey, ruminating on Sufi love poetry. It's a magic carpet ride, so welcome, welcome. First things first, we're just going to relax, breathe, drop into the deep space within. Just open to infinity, open to love's gravity, just open. It's that beautiful space before we meditate. It's like we're just moving into the portal, leaving the past behind, releasing, relaxing, restoring, rejuvenating. Breathing delicious oxygen. You can breathe in through the nose, releasing through the mouth. It's like air conditioning the brain. Delicious air conditioning. Almost like take your head right off and put it under your arm like a helmet. Just experience that. Air conditioning of the brain, headless, free of thinking. It's like we're gathering the energies in the body. That's kind of what meditation is on some level. We're sealing off the leaks, gathering the stray pets, bringing life force into coherency, into alignment, down the middle. Beautiful feeling attracts more beautiful feelings. It's a homeopathic principle. We breathe. As you breathe, you can feel the oxygen actually tingle in your palms. All right. The pores will open as you inhale. Essentially, you're breathing with your entire body. It's the beauty of the breath. It's everywhere. It's kind of like hearing. We hear with all the cells. We see with the different fields of bioplasma in different fashions. Just beholding what we are. This is really the message of the Sufis, right? It's like we're not waiting for the future, right? When is that going to happen? Right now is where it's at. Right where you're at. It's the best place to be. Breathing. Meditation is kind of like an ocean that comes and claims us. The Sufis say that it's really that God does us, right? Plants thoughts inside of us, feelings inside of us, and attributes them to us. We are like in the ocean of, on some level, powerlessness, and yet powerful in the powerlessness, mysteriously. To our non-being, our being, all these parts of us are all resonating in the joy and the flow and the good feeling, despite what's happening on the outer screen. The weather is crazy, but so are the Sufis on the inside. Right? It balances it all out. That inner ecstasy is the counterbalance to this outer distortions. So we breathe in. It gathers any incoherencies, gathers anything that's not quite right, pulls it all together. The initial in-breath is like a storm, right? And then all of a sudden everything lines up. It's like a laser beam. We relax, we release. Kind of like piezo electricity. Everything just sort of lines up and flows forward. That's a beautiful alignment. Take the next breath. I once knew a physicist that told me you could add infinities in math. It's kind of like we're constantly adding infinities, right? Every breath is a universe. Bringing in all these universes, they tumble dry, they roll, they flow, they incubate. They show up as us. So we're just rising and flowing with the breath. Beautiful oxygen. Someone asked Rumi just before he died, he said, gosh, you wrote 52,000 verses about the inexpressible. What were you thinking? Isn't God inexpressible? What's the deal with that? And Rumi's amazing answer was something like, well, God never said a word the whole time. It's all my doing these poems. Basically, they flew through Rumi. So we're just going to journey back into the inexpressible. Kind of lean into it. It's right there. It's like a veil that's so close you can't see it. That's what the Sufis say. God is so close you can't see it. Can't see him, can't see her. It's so in your face. We think it's some other place. We don't see the grace. So we breathe. Try again. Back to that center. Music releases dopamine. Humming vibrates the brain into higher harmonics. Just swaying, keeping the spine flexible, give you long life. Flexible minds, flexible spine. Live a long time. We breathe. Just letting the music, letting the silence wash through. Beautiful you, through and through. What's driving this particular raga is the purring of my cat Nunu, purred in B flat. And a purr is a standing wave. It's a waveform that sends two nodes that lock it into place. We too are a standing wave of energy. Just vibrating there in the quantum foam with your beautiful quantum field dynamics around your body. Like we're just treading water in the ocean of love. No better place to be than right here in eternity. Where is there to go? Right? You're going to bring this part wherever you go. This peace will follow you. Time spent with meditation is not time lost, actually saves time. Rumi says there's a way of breathing that's the shame and a separation. And there's another way of expiring, a love breath that lets you open infinitely. This cleanses the heart, purifies the nadis, the subtle energy systems moving through your body. Rumi says, "This is how I would die, into the love I have for you, as pieces of cloud dissolve in sunlight." Meditation is a kind of passing away. Al-fana, they call it in the Sufi language. So you pass into annihilation. That annihilation allows the supreme energy to fill you up. We know this. There's 1,000 ways to do it. That still point at the center. Rising with inner tide, riding and subsiding as we abide inside. Let the stillness clear the illness. Any illness there may be, any distortions. We're strengthening this inner screen, inner dimension, to balance out the collapsing systems around us as the planet prepares for a new cycle. What is falling away in ourselves, in the world, is done. That's what chaos is, right? Just what's no longer working, like dead skin, just crusting off. The coconut husk falls to the earth. The inner juice of the coconut is revealed. Just talking about meditation is a kind of Rumi poetry, right? That's where that poetry comes from. You can write your own versions, right? Thoughts that rise up in you. They're directives, they're hints, divine hints. They have a quality, they have a vibration that leads to another vibration. So you follow the breadcrumbs back to the center. At the end of yesterday's session, I read a poem I wrote, which was a response to all of these Sufi poems I've been absorbing over the weekend. And this poem speaks to the essence of the Sufi message, which is that you keep coming back to where you started. It's the most ancient of stories. It's the hero's journey. So I thought I'd just... That's right. Something happens during the hero's journey. A glass falls over. Something is spilled. Right? And then the journey is to repair that wound. There are no mistakes. The poem is called "Right Where You Are is the Best Place by Far." Your body is a mystery, a gift of ancient history. Your path a totality, a well-traveled reality. Your truth is so apparent and now fully transparent that arriving back from where you started can feel like you just departed. It's time to get this party started. It's a circle of love, this circle gain, to arrive back home from whence you came. For time is a wondrous and twisty thing to set before your inner king. For you are the shrine of your very own quest, the gold mine of doing your very own best. It's clear that once you know, there's no reason to come or go. Because right where you are is the best place by far. We breathe. Always circling back, breath returns to the center. The pendulum of the breath tracks the same distance, and yet what seems like the same distance is actually a spiraling into the future. It's actually a clockwise spiraling, like the blood, like the DNA. We're vertical beings spiraling into the future, like the sun, the planets, the galaxies. And the spiral is the essential image of the whirling dervish, whirling out the world, whirling in the world. Beautiful whirling. And when you're spinning, you think the world is spinning too. And yet, it's really you. So we breathe, go to the center of the spinning, right? The eye of the hurricane. That's right, Dr. Seuss made it easy. Dr. Seuss is on the loose. Let's hop in the caboose. Escape the noose. We breathe. It seems life non-Seussical. Great saints say you should be foolish a little bit every day, right? Keeps it real, keeps it light. There's a lot of gravitas, right? There's plenty of gravitas to worry about. Oh, better just float up, lighten up, release, relax, restore, rejuvenate. There's always room for more love. There's always enough. You don't need more stuff. In fact, Rumi has a poem about that somewhere here. I'll find it. Oh, here it is. It says, don't grieve. Anything you lost comes around in another form. The child weaned from mother's milk now drinks wine and honey mixed. God's joy moves from unmarked box to unmarked box, from cell to cell, as rainwater down into a flower bed, as roses up from the ground. Now it looks like a plate of fish and rice, now a cliff covered with vines, now a horse being saddled. It hides within these till one day blows them open, cracks them open. There's a light gold of wheat in the sun, and the gold of bread made from that wheat. I have neither, says Rumi. I'm only talking about them. As a town in the desert looks up at stars on a clear night. Rise up into infinity. Play with infinities. Nassim Harriman says that protons in your body are mini black holes, and nobody has been able to refute this. It's like every particle of our body is an infinite doorway, infinite dimensions, infinite possibility. We're just vibrating here in this great Swiss cheese of creation. Lost like little mice. You can almost hear the nibbling. amazing how the universe is a shamanic sound field. Right? It's going to reflect what's going on every level at the same time as you're having some inner experience. Just breathing into that peace. There's no end to that peace, no end to that love. Infinite deepness. It's like these poets, they just kind of fall into this bowl of stars, right? They just get lost into the sea of sounds. The cackle of the crow. I'm going to do a random pull. Rumi says, I am dust particles in sunlight. I am the round sun. To the bits of dust I say, stay. To the sun, keep moving. I am morning mist and the breathing of evening. I am wind in the top of a grove, the surf on the cliff. Mast, rudder, helmsmanship, and keel. I'm also the coral reef they founder on. I'm a tree with a trained parrot in its branches. Silence, thought, and voices. The musical air coming through a flute. A spark off a stone, a flickering in metal. Both candle and moths. Crazy about it. Rose and the nightingale, lost in the fragrance. I am all orders of being, a circling galaxy. The evolutionary intelligence, the lift and the falling away. What is and what isn't, you know, Jalaluddin, you, the one and all, say who I am. Say I am you. We breathe. Rose and the Nightingale, just a little review. For any of you who weren't here yesterday, the rose is the beloved. The rose is the divine itself, the elixir, the ultimate fragrance, the sublime essence of creation. The nightingale is the seeker, the lover, yearning for the beloved. That separation is the gravity that drives the system, drives the heart crazy, crazy with love. That's the Sufi heart, crazy with love. There's no time for anything else. Right from the get-go, that is what Sinai is saying, right? Let's see if I can find that poem. Oh, it's escaping me. Like thoughts. Just ride the infinity. It's all the poem. We are the poem. Living poem, the living word, living light. John Lennon, the Sufi, says, life is what's happening to you while you're making plans for the future. Right? That is a Sufi message. So we're just looking into what's happening to you right now. What crazy thoughts might you need to just release? Some tortured mental picture. This is the healing move to make. Release the tortured mental pictures. Release your own tests, the tests you're failing that you created. Forget about them, right? The universe creates the next step for you. And the Sufis say it's all in one step. The totality, it's all in one step. Like Neil Armstrong stepping out onto the moon. That fractal resonance, it's just a ladder of fractals, goes all the way out to mankind. Every step is an important step. Montino, by the way, playing the trode. It's a homemade sarod. There's Joss playing tabla, Joss Jaffe. Some guitar back in there. Running that trode backwards there. Back to the source. Flexible sound. I haven't played along with it in a while, so figure eight energy. Just feel that's a Lorentz attractor, this figure eight. Harmony behind all things. Generating the bowl of stars. Are fish, waves. You can feel this energy and then cup your eyes. Relaxing the tired vision of the world. Release into the inner vision of the world with an H. Relaxing brain. Find your unique way of being at peace. It could mean that you just do this for half an hour. Who knows what your body wants? Right, just feel it. You're unique. I'm just giving you my best advice. Tavern is the heart, where God's drunkards roam in the Sufi world. It's all a disguise to protect them from the this edginess of the orthodoxy that wants to put a stop to anything esoteric, anything that smacks of immediacy. From the orthodox world, the wine is of the other world. But the Sufis are mad for intoxication. They want the wine of now. Because of the tyranny of separation endured, says Hafez, the nightingale shall speed to the rose garden, bursting with song. If I've left the mosque for the tavern, don't complain. The ceremony's stretched on too long. Time is short. Omar Khayyam says, melt yourself down in this search. Venture your life and your soul in the path of sincerity. Strive to pass from nothingness to being and make yourself drunk with the wine of God. Actually, that's Hakim Sinai. There's a story about Sinai, one of the early Persian poets. He was blind, and he had sort of gotten comfortable writing praises, paeans for the king, for the sultan. And one day while walking to the palace, he was passing a tavern, and he heard this drunken rabble going on, and this mysterious drunkard Sufi named Liker, sounds like liquor, but that's his name, Liker, saying things like, hey, we're gonna toast to the blind Sufi, to his blindness. He's being a fool, writing stupidity for this king who's launching crazy ventures into India and should really be taking care of his home. And the eavesdropping Sinai is like, oh my God. So, took that to heart. Well, as the story goes, he, after that awakening, he spurned the offerings of marriage for the Sultan's daughter, took refuge with a spiritual teacher, went off to Mecca, changed his life, and came back and wrote the great Persian classic, The Walled Garden of Truth. So you never know. Somebody criticizing you could change your life for the better. Praise and blame, it's all the same, say the Sufis. Because they're just mad with God. It doesn't matter. When the forgetful man gets up in the morning, he reflects on what he is going to do. This is Ibn Atta. Whereas the intelligent man sees what God is doing with him. When he wants to show his grace to you, he creates states in you and attributes them to you. Okay with surrendering to the ocean of the divine? Asks Rumi. Can you handle getting lost in the sauce of the divine? Where the world is the beloved and you are the veil. Fish, right? Just don't know about that thing called water. Speculate about it. Does water really exist, says the fish? Have a theosophical debate. School of Fish. You must lance an ulcer to heal it. You must tear down parts of the old building to restore it. And so it is with a sensual life that has no spirit in it. To change, says Rumi, a person must face the dragon of his appetites. It's another dragon, the life energy of the soul. When that's not strong, the world seems to be full of people who have your own fears and wantings. As one thinks, the room is spinning when he's whirled around. When your love contracts in anger, the atmosphere itself feels threatening. But when you're expansive, no matter what the weather, you're in an open, windy field with friends. So here's to that open, windy field with friends. The cow may walk from one side of the amazing city of Baghdad to the other and notice only a watermelon rind and a tuft of hay that fell from a wagon. Don't keep repeating what your animal soul wants to do. These are amazing translations, by the way. I forgot to mention this yesterday, by Coleman Barks and also Robert Bly. They have kind of a modern twist to the languaging. It's been recalibrated, updated by another poet, other poets. Be like an octopus. Just have fun. The galaxy emits a B-flat frequency, 57 octaves below middle C. We took my cat's purring and put it in the studio. It was smack on, right on B flat. Makes it easier to play too. Again, just breathing. Kind of like we're in water world today. Bringing in the water element because there's strong fire element right now. Mars is going crazy. Uranus going to be a full blue hunter moon on the 31st on Halloween. Uranus full moon conjunction in Taurus. This is an earthquake of spirituality. This is an earthquake of the psyche. This is an earthquake politically. This is an earthquakes maybe. Not to be scared, just to be aware that there's some serious forces coming together in the next 2 weeks. My recommendation is just surf the waves. Don't fight them. It's like the universe is unfolding. The universe is bigger than any political party, right? It's bigger than us. It has a mind of its own. anxiety. Let's clear that, right? The collective anxiety is very necessary to clear periodically because we're swimming in it. We would rather be swimming in this, but we're swimming in that often. So we have to clear that to make way for this, right? Create more inner space. Delete the files of anxiety, collective stress, collective terror, collective freak out, collective anticipation, collective destructive tendencies, collective warfaring, collective uncivility, all these things. Our message, feel free to join this waveform just to clear it, resolve the density, the compression. That's what the acid side of the spectrum is. It's compressed particles. It's like a COVID elevator. You don't want to be in that jammed in with all those people, right? You want to be in the alkaline elevator of love. All this space. Even though Gandhi didn't actually say it himself, but be the peace, right? It's attributed to him. He lived that. But be that peace that you want to see, right? You want to be. Because we radiate the quantum effect of that, especially if there's this group doing it and this people who watch this later are all participating in a kind of a collective field of spaciousness. It's alkaline, de-densifies, releases. Okay, here comes the prayer at the end. Turn it up. Let's feel that standing wave. Mighty Nunu passed away in 2007. She was a Sufi cat. Lived in Rattlesnake Canyon. Met her end with a coyote. She was a true wild thing. And that's what the Sufis invite us to be, the true wild thing that you are. Feel that inner purr. Perfection. That piece is called Perfection 44. So we just did 44 minutes of perfection. And the beautiful thought about the number 44 is that's how long it takes your blood to circulate through your body. So for those of us who have been here since 4:32, we've done a complete blood cycle together. That's very nice. Blood is spiraling clockwise. Just feel that beautiful vorticity of our relatability, anti-toxicity. And hopefully by doing this, I know for myself, I feel more space between the thoughts. I feel more space. In general, there's a spacious graciousness that sets in when we meditate. Spacious graciousness that is our true nature. It just sort of fluffs it out. It's like the DNA comes to the edge of itself and goes, it's okay to come out and play. I'm your DNA. Is it okay to come out and play? If you're in a war-torn area, your DNA is going to say, no way am I going to come out and play today. right? Your DNA is going to say, gotta go back and hide away, because today is not my magic day. It's like Ed Viesturs, the mountain climber. He asks the mountain if it's okay to climb, right? That's why he's still alive, and a lot of these other mountain climbers aren't, possibly. Because he checked in. Like, okay, mountain, no, can't climb today. Okay, I'll check in tomorrow. All right, so I use this teaching myself to ask, right? Google for the grace. Just check in, just ask the question, and the answer rushes into the space. And if it's okay to climb the mountain, you'll feel the grace. And then Ed, Steady Eddie, does it piecemeal, right? He doesn't climb Mount Everest, he climbs to the next rock. He eats that mighty meal, spoon by spoon. So that's us, right? Each breath, part of the ascent, climbing this to the highest place. This is the journey of Sufism, right? To purify the base qualities. It's like we start at the feet and work up into the higher frequencies. Save the best for last. It's just feeling that spaciousness. It's a gift when you feel it, right? Because you can take it wherever you want, and it's forever, right? If you've attained that experience, you have it, you own it, it's yours. You can just bookmark that page. Come back to that feeling. As I've said 1,000,000 times, the good feeling attracts the healing. Homeopathic principle of like attracts like. Find any muscles in your body that are tense and just relax them. There's no reason for that tension. I mean, yes, we want to have a dynamic tension, otherwise you couldn't stand up. But that's a relaxed experience. So we breathe. Softening, relaxing brain, shoulders, neck, eyeballs, jaw, forehead, tongue. Can you feel it getting thicker, stronger? There's so much information in the empty spaces right now, in the silence. It's getting stronger, thicker. There's more available in that. Anytime you want to access silence, my experience, it's loaded right now. There's more than you can even handle. You know, bring a cake spoon, right? It's big. So just letting in what you can. Don't overwhelm yourself. It's like the real news is the news of the universe on the inside, right? That's actually a title of a book, by a collection of poems by Robert Bly. I love that. News of the universe. So beat some of these other agencies, right? So just check in with your own channel. Okay, you want to know the answer? You Google. Ding. There's the great poet Saint Kabir. They could never quite figure out if he was Muslim or Hindu. He was a weaver who was completely into the warp and the woof of his weaving groove, right? These poet saints did things in the world that they found a dance step in, right? It wasn't sort of repetitive, horrible work. It was made to order. It was what Rumi says, you have to relish it, right? It's so tasty every little moment. That's what the dervish is doing. He's like, oh, this is so great. This is so great. Remember, Baba used to say there was a kind of an avatut character would wander, the same kind of being, right? These crazy guys that wander around, they're God intoxicated. And Hari Giri Baba would have all these coats, and he'd walk around and he'd look for really cool rocks like you do at the beach, right? But this is what he did all the time. Oh, this one is worth lakhs of rupees, right? Tuck it in his pocket. Like, what's going on, right? These people are completely finding infinity in every grain, right? It's not insane. Actually, they say we're the ones who are insane because we're not having that experience, right? At least if we're not energized in that way, we're going to be more routinized. So we're just calling in the infinity. Google infinity.calm.com. Very calm, your infinity. Keep breathing into it. There's a great, somewhere I have the Kabir poem. If I can find that one. It's just so good. That's not it. I'm just lost in these poems. How great is this? A wealth of poetry. Life could be worse. I didn't even read any of these. Guess we'll have to have a part 3. It's worth it though. I'll find it. Here it is. Maybe play a little sitar to this one. It's a finger pick. You can see it. It's an interesting thing. Different than a guitar pick. Kabir says, friend, hope for the guests while you are alive. Jump into the experience while you're alive. Think and think again while you're alive. If you don't break your ropes while alive, you think ghosts are gonna do it when you're dead? The idea that the soul will join with the ecstatic just because the body is rotten. That is all fantasy. What is found now is found then. If you find nothing now, you will simply end up with an apartment in the city of death. fire, like the body. If you make love with the divine now, in the next life, you will have the face of satisfied desire. So plunge into the truth. Find out who the teacher is. Believe in the great sound. Kabir says, when the guest is being searched for, it is the intensity of the longing for the guest that does all the work. Look at me, and you will see a slave of that intensity. Thus rock Kabir. What is found now is found then. If you find nothing now, you will simply end up with an apartment in a city of death. That's right, time is short. This drunkenness began in some other tavern. When I get back around to that place, I'll be completely sober. Meanwhile, I'm like a bird from another continent, sitting in the aviary. The day is coming when I fly off. But who is it now in my heart? Who is it now in my ear who hears my voice? Who says words with my mouth? Who looks out with my eyes? What is the soul? I cannot stop asking. If I could taste one sip of an answer, I could break out of the prison for drunks. I didn't come here of my own accord, and I can't leave that way. Whatever brought me here will have to take me home. Unfold your own myth without complicated explanation, so everyone can understand the passage. We have opened you. Start walking towards Shams. Your legs will get heavy and tired. Then there comes a moment of feeling the wings you've grown lifting. To the wine of God. Namaste, everyone. YouTube channel. A lot of meditations are up. Have your choice. Next week, with all the craziness, I'm planning to talk about anger. See what we can come up with. What is anger exactly? What's going on there? That's the quest. Figure this out. Namaste, everyone. I'll see you then. Thank you for being here. I love you. Namaste.